So we'll start on Vipassana. Assuming that you are on second or on the fourth jhana, especially second, that means you are in joy, at least you are in joy from the morning or in the evening or whatever time you are in. So let's start on Vipassana. So the first thing what he says in both in MN 77 as well as in Samanyapala Sutta is to take up how this body is made, how it has come. Okay. So he says that I am Kayo Rupi. That is this form which is having a shape. Rupi and Rupa are different things. Rupi is the form with shape. Rupa is the form. So what gives you a form? When you say form, generally we look form in English as something formed or made up, but it should have a shape. So when it has a shape, and that's the reason in the Pena Pindupama Sutta, he says, look at this form because it has shape, it has some structure. Nevertheless, the subtle difference between Rupi and Rupa is that a form which has its own predefined shape. Okay, so when you take a body like this, you can see means not eyes seeing, through wisdom, that it's made out of 4 Mahabhuta. Chattaro Mahabhutiko. That means it consists of 4 elements, not as what Buddha Gosa says in Visuddhi Magga and Attakatha, that solidity means hardness, softness, liquidity means cohesion, etc. That's Visuddhi Magga way of seeing it. I'm not saying it is bad, but that's not what Buddha talks about. So there's a difference between Buddha Gosa's commentarial way of seeing things, which is good for those people who can't understand what is Patvi and what is Apo, Tejo, Vayu. It's good, but you have to come out of commentarial things. Especially Burmese, they have taken complete commentarial. So if you go and look at Ledi Sayadaw, it's totally commentary. I'm not saying it's bad. In fact, his book, Manual of Buddhism, is one of the best to start, but then there are limitations. Limitation as in it doesn't literally fall into the Nikayas. Supposing if you're really interested in Nikayas and you don't want to even go a little bit outside it, then you should go by what Buddha says than what Buddha Gosa says. Okay, so that's a disclaimer. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. You can do it. But Vipassana on solidity as hardness, softness is not going to be a Vipassana. That you need to understand. So basically, when I see this body, I can see the Patvi Dhatu in 2 ways. Ajjata, internal, Bahidha, external. External Patvi is more than the internal Patvi because the shape is smaller and outside is bigger, obviously. So now I can discern that the Patvi Dhatu is Patvi Dhatu. It's not something like internal and external. Ajjata, Bahidha. Both have to be removed. Iti ajjattam va kaye kayanupassi viharati. Bahidha va kaye kayasmin viharati. Ajjatta bahidha va kaye kayasmin viharati. So now I'm seeing both internal and external are no internal and external, just Patvi. Okay. Now, when I understand Patvi, then the question comes, how can we discern Patvi? Then you're coming to Buddha Gosa's explanation, which is hardness and softness, because you're talking of the quality of Patvi. for understanding purpose. Supposing I am able to penetrate the Patvi Dhatu, then I don't require this Buddha Ghosa's explanation of hardness and softness. But then I am not able to understand. If I am not able to understand, I am not a fit person for Vipassana. Got to go back and see whether I'm in jhana. If I'm not in jhana, then I have to see whether I'm doing sati sampajanya. If I'm not in sati sampajanya, I should see whether I am in indriya sambara. If indriya sambara has also not happened, that means my sila is bad. Okay. Now, when I come to the second jhana, it opens up. What opens up? Patvi opens up. So you can see Patvi everywhere, including this body. So I am kayo mahabhutiko. Okay. So I can see distinctly. When I say distinctly, is really distinctly the Patvi everywhere. So then what happens? Aryu is not there. It's replaced by Patvi. Bobby is not there, replaced by Patvi. Chirag is not there, replaced by Patvi. Ritu is not there, replaced by Patvi. Just Patvi. There's nothing called Aryu any longer, or any Ritu or Chirag or anyone any longer. At that moment, there is no way I can recognize that this is this. Ithabhava, thisness, is gone. Okay, so that's the first indication that your vipassana is excellent. You have penetrated, you've investigated, you deep dive into it, because now the mind is still with jhana. It's uninjured, unshakable. Okay, and that's the reason Buddha keeps on saying, don't forget the jhana, don't forget the jhana. Okay, and I keep on saying, forget the jhana. I don't have to be in jhana. It's going against what Buddha says. Anyway, so then I see Patavi. Then I can see Apo. It's not about cohesion, like what Buddha Gosa says. It's correct. If you can't understand Apo, then the better way to see is flowing and cohesion. It's fair sense. But can I penetrate Apo as it is? Yes, I can. At this stage, I can see Apo everywhere. How and where? The moisture which is hitting me is Apo. And I can feel Apo here. And this body is filled with Apo. So the Dhatu, if the Mahabhuta, is understood through wisdom. Then the Tejo, then the Vayu. So I got Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. Chattaro Mahabhutiko. Okay. Mata Pettika Sambhavo. So how this happened? How Vilas came into existence? Vilas came into existence through his father and mother. Mata Pettika Sambhavo. Sambhava means coming up, showing up. So how this baby came? Came from the parent. So can I own that this is my body? No. The Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu are in the nature. The so-called Vilas is from the parent. Mata Pettika Sambhavo. Odana Kummasa Upachayo. Odana is rice. Kummasa is porridge. Upachaya, a rising of something. When my mother, hopefully in 1970s, in India we had scanning as we have today. Hopefully she used to go for scanning, And then if they scan after 3 months, they can see a small thing inside her uterus. That's no vilas. That's absolutely not vilas. It's a being which is taking shape. Now, the placenta which is formed is feeding that thing. So there can't be any substance, any person sitting there. Got the point? Odana, kummasa, upachaya. That's upachaya moment. The moment it can be seen. Upachaya, santati, jarata. These are the three things. So upachaya is in sapling. When you put a seed and then a little bit buds coming is upachaya moment. Then santati, it stays for some time, and jarata, that is gone and something comes up. So month on month, from the third month, let's say, my mother, if she were to be scanning every 2 months or each month, the doctor can put the sonography and check how the baby is, how that being is, not even a baby, how that being is. So you can see it is growing. So its arms, okay, legs, etc. are coming like buds of a plant. Same. So just like I call it as a teakwood when it grows, when this thing came out of the womb, after a few days, the parents managed to name it as Vilas. They managed. So if I were to ask who is Vilas, there's nothing like that. There's no Vilas per se, anywhere to be found. Okay. Vilas is a placeholder for something which is growing, just like teakwood or rosewood or something. You can name it, but that name has got nothing to do with that, what is growing and maturing and dying. Right? So it doesn't really hold good. Now, when I really investigate, now this is where the Vipassana comes. When I really investigate, I can see 5 things happening there. Anicca, Uchadana, Parimadana, Bedhana, Vidhamsana, Dhammo. Let's understand each one of them. Anicca is arising and passing, and the uncertainty of its staying and going. Okay, just like if I take a sapling, if there is no protection, it will die. There's no guarantee. So that's anicca. It's uncertain. Same thing if the child sitting inside or that embryo inside and what has come outside, if they were not fed, they don't exist. Okay. So it has to have ayu, it has to have vinyana, and there should be usma. So these are the 3 conditions which we can say if Vilas is existing or he is not existing. And to call as he or she, the male genital is the factor. If there is no male genital, it's called female. And if there's a male genital, it's called as a male, because we don't know actually. We're just naming it. There's nothing called female in real sense and the male in real sense. The male and female is on the body, on the kaya, not really on the person. Okay. So I understood anicca at its arising and passing, plus uncertainty, uchadana, maintenance. We need to maintain through food, through clothing, through medicines, through bathing, through all of that. Uchadana. Parimadhana, pressure. Every posture has pressure. It has joint, so there's a pain and then there's a pressure generated. So you need to change postures all the time. Parimadhana, bhedana, hairs fall, skin falls, beard, underarms, anywhere you're removing your hair by voluntary or involuntarily, it's bhedana. This keeps on coming out. Vidhamsana. Dhamsa means destruction. Vidhamsana means pulverized. So this body, from my childhood till today, has been pulverized on a daily basis because that body is no longer there. It's gone. Dhamma. The nature is anicca, uchadana, parimadhana, bedana, vidhamsana, dhamma. The dhamma is 5. Along with that is vijnana, which is attached to the body. And that's all is vilas. So, if I did my Vipassana right, the vilas is gone. Only 2 things can be understood now, either an Arhat or an Anagami. Those are 2 results of this practice. Clear? Who can attempt it? Anyone who is Sotapanna or above Sotapanna. What will you get? You will get Arhat Phala Samapatti or Anagami. If some defilements remain, then Anagami. If no defilement remain, then Arhat. Okay, and that's the reason you do Vipassana. This is the first Vipassana. Then what's the second Vipassana? 5 khandhas. Look at anicca, dukkha, anatta in 11. Anicca, stasis anicca. Dukkhato, rogato, gandato, sallato, agato, abhadato as dukkha. Parato, palokato, shunyato, anatto as anatta. So this again is Vipassana. Now, what's the difference between the first Vipassana and the second Vipassana? The first Vipassana takes you completely in depth and removes the personality itself. It removes the Namarupa with Vijnana. What about the second one? The second one also does the same thing, but it does much more. In the first jhana itself, it can make you an Arhat or an Anagami, or the second jhana itself, it can make you an Arhat or Anagami. So that's the reason in the Anguttara Nikaya 9.36 Jhana Sutta, he says either one is confirmed, either a fully Arhat or Anagami. So which is much faster, the first one or the second one? It depends on my wisdom, panya. So I might have saddha, but I might not have virya, failed. I might have saddha, I have too much of virya, again problem. To be an arhat, because all the five have to be balanced. It's mentioned in Yuganda Katha in Khuddaka Nikaya. You go there, and if you go to Patisambhida Magga Pali and you go to Yuganda Katha, Sariputta explains how to balance. In fact, he explains that in Yuganda Sutta itself, which is very short one. And to penetrate that, somebody should be an Anagami to do so that you understand how to balance the five indriyas. Nevertheless, you go there, you'll get a complete knowledge. Coming back to this point is when I do the first one, anicca uchadana parimadhana vedana vidhamsana dhamma, I require good amount of samadhi, which is second jhana, and panya. Otherwise, I can't. I might understand, but I can't penetrate. Clear. Now, if I have only sati, what happens? No, it doesn't work. No, I have only virya. No, it will not work. It will make you restless. That's it. Samadhi, it makes you sleepy. Only panya, it makes you a knowledge extractor. Okay, individually they do only this. So only saddha will make you a blind faith. Only virya will make you restless. Only sati will make you confused. Only samadhi will make you sleepy. Only panya will make you a knowledge extractor. That's it. Now you need something to balance it out. So how do you balance? Your balancing act is on two foundations. One, second jhana, aryatunni bhava. Okay, not that board. Meditation in progress, please maintain silence. Be yes. Okay, that's it. No arguments on that. It's just operation in progress, please don't come inside. What really is required is second jhana, aryatunni bhava. Tunni bhava means silence. Arya is noble silence, right? Not the noble silence, what we thought is noble silence. That's not at all noble silence. There's nothing noble about that silence in the first place. Because when that person comes out of retreat, he's just exactly the same person as he was before. No changes observed. He's more absurd than what he was earlier. So, and his family member, her family member know for sure that they keep on going for mental hospital and coming back. And that's all. So basically, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the second jhana. Now, the best one, which is recommended by Buddha, is fourth jhana, upekha. In fact, it takes half the time or even less in fourth jhana than second. In the second jhana, it is samadhija, completion of samadhi. But in the fourth jhana, there's no sukha, there's no piti. So there's no little bit of shaking. It's perfect equanimity. It doesn't mean that in second jhana you can't do vipassana. You can do, but it takes some time. Whereas in the fourth jhana, no time. Just see 5 khandhas, done. You see 5 dhatus, that dhatu vibhanga sutta, 6 dhatus, done. Then you take anicca, dukkha, anatta in everything, in breath or whatever, done. You take whatever, you're done. So what is Vipassana then? Is what is called insight. What is insight? Insight into the reality. What is reality? Which is not fabricated. What is fabrication? Is sankhara. And what is sankhara? Volitions. What are volitions? They are what you desire it to be. So when you give off the desire, the volitions no longer take place. Sabba sankhara samatho. They're tranquil. Sabbupati patinisakko. Upadi is holding on, clinging on, hankering about, taking custody, taking it as mine. Sabbupadi patinisakko. Cut that bond. Disconnect. Tanhakhayo. Then the craving is gone. Without upadi, there cannot be any. With upadi, craving. Without upadi, no craving. Tanhakhayo. Virago. Discolored. Completely removed. The coloring is vilas. So it's discolored. Gone. Virago. Nirodho. Cessation. No longer available. So vilas can never be seen at all. In that vipassana, nibbana, because the raga is on vilas, gone. Dvesha is on vilas, also gone. Moha, that there is vilas, is also gone. So then two solutions or two things which are probable is Anagami or Arhat. That's it. So that's the end of Vipassana. Okay. So this is the first half I wanted to cover, and the second half is Vitakkasanthana Sutta, MN 20. Very important. Especially important to see whether I am fit enough for Vipassana. Because the jhanas will not happen if this is not taken care. Meaning this vitakka. Because second jhana is avitakka, avichara, samadhi. So my vitakka vichara is sensual. That means even the first jhana is not possible, let alone the second jhana. Okay, so what Buddha is saying is that the first one, he says, replace the theme itself, unwholesome to a wholesome. You have to do it in two-step process. One who is a sotapanna, who is just a sotapanna, or recently arrived as sotapanna, who has good amount of kamachanda and vyapada, will not be able to reflect upon unwholesome to wholesome. That means akusala as in asubha to subha, or subha nimitta to asubha nimitta. It's not easy. What does that mean? I lost a job. Now, if somebody says replace that with ashubha bhavana, I can't do it. I lost my wife, or I divorced from my wife, or I lost money, or something which is bothering me, or I did not lose anything, but my promotion has not happened, or my salary raise has not happened, or I want to join another organization and the interviews are happening. Nothing that on the contrary has happened, but I'm not getting that continuity of interviews. So the mind is fixated on that. Okay. But herein, I am a sotapanna. Herein, if I'm a saddhanusari, dhammanusari, nothing I can do. Absolutely nothing I can do. It's a misnomer that I can do this strategy. It's applicable only for Sotapanna and above. No lesser than that. Those who are lesser than that, they can think of trying it and they can try. Best of luck for them. It works. Why not? So then you should reflect upon and see whether you're moved beyond a Sotapanna or not. But it works very beautifully for a Sotapanna. So change the theme. So from, let's say I have my job and then the wage adjustment has happened and then not much raise. I've done so much for the organization. They are not considered for whatever reason. What should I do? Two-step process strategies, not one, because I'm still a Sotapanna. First, I need to bring something which is extremely good. Maybe technology, what I'm working with, or the culture, or the team members, or something which is good in that organization. Otherwise, it's going to bring in dvesha. And that is what I need to stop. It's going to turn out into a dvesha, a hatred. And in that hatredness, I can't work. So I need to find what is good in that organization. There should be something good. Forget the salary raise, fine. So forget the, what I can say, promotion, fair. They have not given, okay. But what else? I have good friends, great. I have good technology to work with, good. I have good work, fine. Or I'm going abroad here, there, going around countries or continents or whatever it is, okay. Whatever. Or I have a nice colleague, or I have my girlfriend there, whatever, suiting to it. Now, don't have to say that it is Kamachanda or some stupid thing, because I'm still a Sotapanna. Clear? Now, having changed this thought, this theme, which is causing me discomfort, I can see how the Vedana now has changed from a unpleasant to a pleasant. First step. Change from unpleasant to pleasant. It's there in Vitakkasanthana Sutta as well, or also in many other suttas where Buddha says, replace this with this, replace this with this. So please remember this. You need to change Niramisa. To get into Niramisa, you should correct the Samisa as well. It's not just, you know what, I'm a Buddha follower, so I will see Asubha Bhavana. You'll get into depression because the preceding condition is negative. So the succeeding condition is also negative. You can't feed too negative to make it positive. You can't do two mistakes and make it correct. No. Two mistakes are two mistakes. Two negatives are two negatives. So you just can't add more negative to the negative and say that it will be turned to positive, or comment that Buddha Dhamma is dukkha, so I am looking at dukkha. Bullshit. It's not true. You will get into Attakila Matanu Yoga, and that doesn't give you anything. So basically, I see that nimitta. Which nimitta? The irritation nimitta which has arise. That means my salary hike or whatever is not okay. On that, I see the other nimitta, which is better. Here is where Vimala Ramsey actually made real good progress with his 6R. He quit that Burmese technique because it made sense. It doesn't work. It's killing. You're just adding more pressure to the pressure and making it look good? No. So what he really experienced in 20 years of Burmese practice, he found this is untenable. Not that he didn't put effort. He put tremendous effort as whatever they were saying him to do in Burma, but made no sense. You can't give pain to a pain and make it pleasurable. And those who have this can refer to MN 85, where Buddha says, never add pain to make it pleasure. And he says, before my awakening, when I was a bodhisattva, I had this wrong view that by taking more pain, you get sukha. And later I understood I was wrong. So those vipassis who are vipassis doing body scanning vipassana can know those vipassi is no vipassi. It is adding pain to a pain, which equals pain, nothing else. You can keep on doing this forever. Nothing is going to change because the nimitta is pain. It's asubha. So you can't add another asubha to make it subha. Or other way around, it is subha. That is, I go to retreat all the time and then I can't keep on adding to it and then think that it'll give me something else. No, it will, that nimitta has to be changed. So first strategy is remove the unwholesome theme with a wholesome one. So whether it is salary hike or something or this or that, whatever it is, the unwholesome is either raga, dvesha, or moha totally. If you were to compress everything, and you can see it is raga, dvesha, moha. So I need to first look at something which is good in the kama loka, because I need to quit kama loka, for which I need to get into the jhanas. To get into the jhanas, I need to first see what is in kama loka, which is good. That is samisa sukha. So bring in the samisa sukha so that this is gone. I've replaced the nimitta. Now, having stood on this nimitta, I see the defect of that nimitta itself. Got the point? This is the second step. So now I find I'll bring in asubha into this because it is wrong subha nimitta. So I see that every relationship is going to end up in death. So I bring Marananasati to cut this nimitta as well. And then it takes me to Ariya nimitta. Clear? So for a Sotapanna, especially, he needs to do these two steps. For a Sakadagami, he just had to do one step. Same whatever is there in the sutta. For an Anagami, anyway, he is out of this. This is nothing extraordinary for an Anagami to do. Okay, this is the first one. Then we come to the second one, which will be about examine the danger and consequence of this. This one, a person is more than a Sotapanna, almost reaching an Sakadagami stage because he is able to see the danger. Danger is asada adinava, that's what he is seeing there. Okay. Then I will change it by seeing the nature, where it is pushing. So I bring in the proper nimitta from the Buddha Dhamma to replace this. How? Are they blameworthy? Are they appreciable? That's a question I need to ask. So, if it is blameworthy, I will not do it. If it is not blameworthy, I will do it. Now, as a Sotapanna and a Sakadagami, there is attraction on objects. Sotapanna has more, Sakadagami is less. So, I need to see whether how much of this attraction is there. To that extent, I need to apply the second one, which is the danger. But if I apply too much, it turns itself into Attakila Matana Yoga. So I should be knowing how much to apply and cut it. Example. Anyway, Sotapanna and Sakadagami will not have illicit affairs for sure, but they might still enjoy the beauty of that girl or woman. So they can immediately apply the asubha of that. The asubha is aging. So the subha nimitta is gone. So they looked at the danger. So when they looked at the danger, it goes away. Like a job, been promoted as a manager, I'm feeling almost elevated. And suddenly I realize, wait a second, Vilas. If you're promoted, you can be demoted as well. The danger is the expectation will increase because you've been promoted. So don't take promotion as a real thing. It's just change of title. That's it. Don't put it as promotion. Just a title change with more responsibility. So nobody is going to give you a change in title without adding more job. So basically, by giving you change in title, they are taking more work from you, Vilas. You got the point. So what's the point in you getting excited? Yes. So now you were handling this project. Now they have added 2, 3 projects and made you as a manager. Aren't they smart or are you smart? So Vilas will say they are smart. Correct. Because if they had taken another resource, they would have spent double the money. So they have promoted. So called promotion is just a title change. It comes with riders. And you have to finish all of this. And then you will be appraised. There's an appraisal. And then wage adjustment. So there's nothing which is happening. What do you think, Vilas? Yes. So I come out of the manager's office or cabin or whatever it is, and I sit at my desk and throw that promotion away. It's just a title change. Not in a negative sense. Now, I can do it in a negative sense. There's nothing called promotion. No, that's Attakila Matana Yoga. Here I've seen the reality, the danger in asada. Asada is pleasure seeking. Is the pleasure? There is danger. The danger of taking away, being taken away, is always there. There would be some employee who is far better performer than you. So there's competition and there is comparison. Both of them creates abhiccha and vyapada. And I don't want both. I don't want abhiccha, I don't want vyapada. So what do I want? I want nibbana. That means no raga, dvesha, moha. Very good, Vilas. Then in that case, don't appropriate. Upadhi, appropriation, considering, taking it as yours. There is no Vilas except for that badge or a swipe in card. So to that card, they have added some benefits. And that benefit is what it is. Yes, got it. Nice. So throw it out. Yes. Have you thrown it? Yes. Now you see what happens. The mind is stopped, doesn't move, uninjured, unshakable. Aren't you now in second jhana, Vilas? Yes. Is it conditioned or unconditioned? It's unconditioned. Why? Because this promotion did not make you joyous. Clear? You're feeling joy as a natural thing of letting go. Sabbu padi patini saggo. So you've given up. Isn't that joy? Tanhakkayo. The craving is not there. Virago. That promotion thing is raga. Viraga is, there's nothing called as promotion. They just made a weight adjustment and gave me some hike. Hike means what? Some increase. What does it do to you? Do to me? Well, I get more money. Correct. But do you get more money in hand or does it come to your bank? Bank. What if the bank gets insolvent, closes down? In India, now there is a rule. The bank closes, you might have 10 crores in your account, you get only 5 lakhs. The remaining amount will never come to you. So all your savings is just 5 lakhs. That's it. Now you can't keep it at home. Nor you can keep it in the bank. Now where to keep it? I don't know. So what happens to people who have 100 crores, 1000 crores, 10,000 crores? Everyone gets 5 lakhs. Okay. And with the current government trying to privatize maximum amount of banks, God only can save you from getting only 5 lakhs. Clear. If you keep it at home, you get rates. If you keep it in bank, you lose. Now you decide what you want. So it's adhinava, danger. Again, check Vitakkasanthana Sutta, where Buddha says, at that time only he has said how people will fight. Okay, so today's fight is also same. That time fight is also same. Karma is fighting. So it's adhinava. So the second one. Okay, then the third one. But he cannot remember. Vasi vitakka pariyaya pattesu. That means he has done it, but he sometimes forget. Then do not remember or attend to thoughts. What does that mean? It's just like you closed your eyes. This what you said, Vilas, you'll get only 5 lakhs is biting me. Can I put in mutual funds? Yes, sir, you can put in mutual fund, but the FDI people are removing their money. So people are losing left, right, and center in mutual fund. Now, where should I put? Go out of India. That's the only thing you can do. Well, I'm not getting job outside India. Commit suicide. That's the only thing I can tell you, Mr. Vilas. Or ask Bobby if he can take you as his house servant and you can take a broom and some, vacuum cleaner and vacuum. Maybe Marin will give me some $500 and I will run my life. That's all I can do. Or I can ask Harry, take me as your servant and I will serve you early in the morning and late in the night. And do whatever, or Chirag or somebody. That's all I can do. What can be done? So the third strategy is don't ignore, but don't attend. This is difficult. Cannot be done by Sotapanna. No visa for that role, Bobby. I can't understand. We will go to Viren and we'll get a visa. We both will, after this call, we'll talk to Viren. Maybe he will. I can even, actually, Bobby, I can clean your toilets much better than any toilet cleaner. At least for that, you can take me. Okay, anyway, basically, that don't attend to these thoughts. That means the thought will come. It's really saddening. It's really disturbing that your money will not be your money. Okay. And there's another which has come from Karnataka government. They're saying that if you have multiple properties and if you're not building anything there for 5 years, the government will take over. Okay, it's your property. It's not their property, but they will take over. So recently, the chief minister has put that bill and it might get passed. If it get passed, that means in 5 years from the day, if no property is built on that land, then the government will take over that property. That's what is happening. And they want to increase the income tax and all taxes. So they ultimately want you to have 10% as your income and 90% should go to the government. That's the whole idea. So you decide, you want to be in India or you want to be outside India. So then this thought, I shouldn't be in India, I shouldn't be in India, I shouldn't be in India, is biting me hard. And whenever I see Bobby, I feel so happy that in 50 cents he's going around Brisbane while I'm losing all my money here. Then what should I do? Do not feed it. Meaning, I shouldn't be going to YouTube videos and this and this news, first news and second news and news now or CNBC news, IBC news, NDTV news, Times Now, this now, that now, to feed. And do not go over it again and again and again and again, because it will create more and more disturbances. Instead, read a sutta or go for a walk or go to a nice place which has mountains and valleys and some rivers, etc. Do something which will not make this thought take over completely. Supposing it does, it becomes difficult. Because you have read the news, it's botheration. There's a bank here, PMC, Punjab Maharashtra Cooperative Bank or some bank. All the money gone. It's been years. People lost not one, not two. Some people have lost 10 crores of their hard-earned money. And what did the bank do? They paid 50,000 rupees as compensation. That's it. So now this is going to be an irritant as long as I'm in India. What should I do? Don't feed the thoughts. Don't keep on checking videos, news, articles. Clear? Difficult. It's a very difficult situation. Yes, nothing that you can do, Vilas. Nothing. You can't run away from the sin. The fourth one is slightly difficult than the third one as well. Just like Buddha says, why am I doing this? Instead of walking, let me slow walking. Then I do standing, then I'm sitting, then I'm lying down. That is the Iriyapatha. Do the same way. Why am I thinking so much? Why? You don't know my money, is it? Your money? Okay. So when you sleep, my dear friend, where is your money? No, I'm not sleeping these days. Excellent. So then take sleeping pills or pray to Mr. Modi, the savior, Vishnu in human form, and put a Modi statue in your house and 3 times do puja so that he comes like Vishnu and saves you at the nth moment. Do something, right? So now you have to slow down the thoughts. This is very difficult, actually. He's putting all the difficulties till the end. Okay. So the first one was more easier. Now, for this act to be done, you should be a Sakadagam. This one, this fourth one, because you have to see the entire movie, how fast it is going, and slow it down. Because fast walking to slow walking to standing, standing to sitting, sitting to lying down, subtle by subtle by subtle. So when it slows down, doesn't matter. So same issue, bank or job or wife or children or whatever, same. Thoughts remains the same. Only the objects keeps changing, but the multiplicity of thoughts are the same. So then I cut it by looking at this, slowing down. So I keep on slowing down. Okay. And the last one, forcefully restrain them, overpowering. That means deliberately restrain. Now, in majority of our cases, especially when we are growing up in Dhamma, it's deliberation, deliberately, forcefully. Utpanne, papake, akusale dhamme, nadivaseti, padahati, bhyanti karoti, anabhavam gameti. It's not just watching is going to go away. You should really use force, literally use force, which can even mean I punching myself. For that moment, he's saying that take your teeth and press, break, hit the mind with the mind. That's what he's saying. Okay, you have to do it. Or rather, I have to do it because I'm going to lose money and I'm shivering. That means kampana. Chittam yasyana kampati, it is shaking. So, that. These are the 5 strategies which are there. Now, what it does if I do it, it comes to second jhana. And that's it. I'm out of Mara. All these were Mara. Trying to tell me that, Vilas, you're going to lose money. Come, do something. You're going to lose your wife. Come, do something. You're going to lose your son. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. You shouldn't be in India. Ask Bobby. Do something. After Bobby, I'm going to talk to Viren so that anyway I have visa, but I will ask him, PR, if he can manage. And instead of you, I'll talk to Merin because she might do something to me. And then she'll push you. Something like that. So these thoughts are nasty. actually, because they are Mara. So I should cut. That is it for today. And tomorrow we do a little bit of the next Vipassana cycle. And then we come back to the basic, one full round. That will be from the Sila to Indriya Samvara to Jagariyani, Bhojane Matyanutta to Jagariyani Yoga to Sati Sampajanya to Samatha establishment to Jhanas to Vipassana. Complete steps. MN 107 and MN 53 and many other. MN 39 also talks about the same thing. Okay. Any questions? You don't have to give me employment, Bobby. Don't worry. Yes, sir, you go ahead. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah, Bobby, go ahead.
Grashi, in the beginning, you were talking about Prithvi, like, the element of earth. So you said, like, it is not the solidity and all those things like in the Visuddhimagga, but you're saying it is external and internal that we are seeing. But then that can be seen only by the eyes, right? Actually, Chakku Indriya, because
no, Vishdamaya.
So when you feel, you can feel the solidity and hardness, right? Or when you
that's what I'm telling you, that if you don't have that Panya Indriya developed, for that, Buddha Gosa gives you this alternative of getting that Panya as a stopgap arrangement where you see hardness and softness, something like that. Smoothness, roughness, like that. Lightness, heaviness is all part of Patavi. That's correct. I'm not saying it's wrong. But if you go by what he says in Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta, as well as he talks in the Maharahulavada Sutta, he says there's nothing called as Ajjata Bahidda, just Patibi Dhatu. That's it.
Yeah, but the experience part of that Patividadu, like, Buddha says in the Ahulavada Sutta and this one, he says internal things are there, external things are there.
Yes. So he's given the body parts, right? So as an experience, he's given you the body parts. Now he is not told it is hardness and softness, that we have created it. Yeah. Meaning, when I look at the Visuddhimagga, that's a way of creation.
Yeah. So what I mean is, we are experiencing this Pratibhidadu through all our sense organs, right? So how we experience it?
You experience through wisdom, not through sense organs. You just look at Mahavedala Sutta. In that he says Panya has to be developed and consciousness has to be understood.
Understood.
Yeah. So now first you have to understand the Vinyana. That is Chakku Vinyana, Sota Vinyana, Ghana Vinyana, Jivha Vinyana, Kai Vinyana, Mano Vinyana. In that the wisdom will come. And when the wisdom comes, that is Panya comes, then it can see what could not be seen all this time. That's the reason it's called Abhinya. Direct seeing, direct knowing, without any filters. The hardness, softness, and all of that is a filter. So you're seeing still in the filter. You're seeing it as, Patavi means it's hard, but it doesn't stay. You just touch here and you feel, it's a hardness. So the quality of Patavi is hardness. But what if it is powder? Patavi becomes powder anyway. So what happens then?
Softness.
It becomes softness. So then what happened to the... so then you have to create 6 kinds now. So basically, instead of seeing Patavi as Patavi, I'm seeing it as just 6 kind of constructs or qualities. And Buddha says no qualification, nothing to add there. It's just pure seeing. Okay, so that means in the place of your face, I should see it's just Patvi Dhatu. The back wall and you are the same, exactly the same.
So that you are seeing with your eyes. Right?
Yes, I'm seeing through my eyes, but I'm seeing through the, not through the physical eye, through the wisdom eye.
Yeah. So what about the sound? Like, when you're here, I am hearing your sound.
Akasha is there, right? Akasha, in Akasha you have sound, that's it. There's nothing as sound.
No, but like Patvi in sound.
Not Patvi in sound. See, you should know this formula. Tada means something tangible is Patvi. Okay. Then something which flows is Apo. Okay. Meaning if you want to call as Apo Dhatu, what is the predominance of that Dhatu? Is it flows. That's the predominance of it. Whereas the Patvi stays wherever it is. It doesn't flow. If it becomes from solid, it loses solidity, it starts to flow. That's the reason it is called as landslide, because it starts to flow. Because it's pulverized, it's becoming more and more giving up. That bonding is gone. So basically, what I'm trying to then say is that it was hard because it was bound. Now it is unbound, so it loses its thing. But from the beginning, Patvi was tangible only. It was nothing to do with intangible. Whereas Apo was always flowing. It doesn't matter where it flows or what it flows. It flows as blood, is also Apo. It flows as phlegm, it's an Apo. It flows out as saliva, it's a Apo. Whatever. As sweat or whatever it is Apo. So that's the reason he has put that in that 20 here and 12 there. Now Tejo. When it comes to Tejo, he talks about fever to everything. That which can heat up. That's it. It's not about what it does. It's about heating up. Anything that heats up is Tejo. So in outside, you have heating. It heats. So you can experience heat as opposed to saying, oh, this is this. No. Experience heat or experience cold. So what Buddhaghosa did for Tejo, he could not find an alternative. So he put hot and cold. He retained it as it is. And for the Vayu, he put it as movement. Because Vayu is to move. It just moves everything. So it moves as a breeze or it moves as a storm. It moves. So if it becomes storm inside your stomach, it's called as loose motion.
So, Vilashi, that my question is, like every sense organ is that vijnana is there, right? Vijnana.
In that vijnana, you should get the wisdom.
Wisdom. So now when you say heat, heat, that experience of the heat is experienced by maybe the body consciousness and mind consciousness, both. No.
The wisdom of that consciousness will experience it. If you say mano vijnana, yes, right, but mano vijnana has wisdom as well. The faculty of wisdom that was closed. It didn't have the wisdom. Now it has a wisdom to say, got it.
So wisdom in every vijnana is knowing this.
Yes, that's the reason in the Mahavedala Sutta he says exactly those words. Vijnana has to be understood, panya has to be developed.
And it is not separate. That's what he says.
Yeah, he says that. He asked that question, then can I separate it? He says no. He even tells about Vedana, Sanya, and the
five khandhas, that's khandhas also.
Yes, he says no, you can't split it. So wisdom, that is panya, indriya, has to be developed. I might have saddha indriya, but I might have virya indriya, I might have Sati Indriya, I might have Samadhi Indriya, I might have Panya Indriya separately. It doesn't do anything. Only when it comes together and balances as Yugandha, and then it clicks. Got it. That's the reason for Vipassana, you need to have Sila, because that will cut mental proliferation. Then you come to the Samadhi portion where you have Indriya Sambara, Bhojane Matyavrata, Jagariyana Yoga, Sati Sampajanya. Then you are ready for Samatha. So once you are in Samatha, you have established the proper condition for Samadhi. And then it automatically moves to the first Samadhi, first jhana, second jhana. And when it comes to the second jhana, it comes automatically into Aryatunni Bhava. So you are ready now to take Vipassana. So now you can look at what's the reality. Now you get Abhinya, this direct seeing. Abhinyaya, Sambodhaya, Nibbānaya. So that's the reason you are in Vipassana.
Okay. Thank you, Vilash.
No worries. So we finished Vitakkasanthana Sutta, MN20. And in that Iriya Pabba, you should remember it is walking, standing, sitting, lying down. That is Iriya.
Standing.
Yeah. Yeah. Walking, standing, sitting, lying down.
Lying
down. So never sit for meditation. He always says walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, sit. Even Jagariyana Yoga, he says walk and sit, because you don't have to stand. You can skip these standing and sleeping. You can keep walking and sitting. Sitting will give you the rest, and walking will make you get into that rhythm. So you require rhythm. And that's where he says Samadhi gets established. In the Chankama Sutta, that's the only sutta where he talks about Samadhi. So for Samadhi practice, you require Chankama, walking, and you sit. Absolutely, you have to sit. So you stand and you sit. Then there's no need for too much of standing. You walk and sit. There's no need for too much of standing or sleeping. Okay, that's it. Any more? Yes. There you go.
Not a big one, but I'm just curious about the general ordering of this Vitakkasanthana. It seems like that your description, it goes from easier, less required attainment to an even harder one. But it's side brings a doubt, because it feels like if the first one worked, then you wouldn't need a second one. If the second worked,
absolutely. Take any of the 5. It depends on your mindset.
Okay. Okay, I guess when I understood it, I thought you should try the first.
No, not in any order. This is a prescription for someone as a Sotapanna or a Sakadagami. Anagami doesn't require it. So it's between a Sotapanna and a Sakadagami who would like to stop these thoughts. So you take the first one. If it is very easy, take the first one. If it is slightly complicated, take the second one. It's even more complicated, take the third one. It's even more complicated, take the fourth one. If it is extremely complicated, take the fifth one.
Yeah, that's my question, is because if the later one is even more harder to do, and if the first one doesn't even work, then
no, it's not like that, area. It depends on what is that you're suffering with. See, just consider this case. That's the reason I gave you the recent examples. Now, if we are already paying 48% as tax. If the tax increases in India, for whatever reason, then what will you do? So the thought will come. Because I'm reading Financial Times, or sometimes I'm reading it and then I'm feeling, wow, what's it? And the mutual funds, the amount invested is dropping off. So then what happens to my security, right? Just take that as an example. It depends on how strongly emotionally connected I'm with that. So if I start imagining that I'm going to have a hard time, I'm going to have a heart attack, looking at my money going away, and what this, what that happens, then what do we do? So then I will ask my auditor, can I withdraw money and keep in the house, and how much I can keep in the house, and etc., which is there in the Vitakkasanthana Sutta anyway. So you keep the money and burglars will take it, or fire might burn it, or you might have an earthquake, etc. You see,
even there it said the kings will take it.
yeah, exactly. Now today that is what is happening. Right? So basically it is dukkha khanda. Now I'm not able to understand Aryu. So what do I do? If this thought is completely consumed me from morning till evening, I have to do the fifth one. I can't do the first one, very soft thing. Bring another good thought. No, that's not going to happen. I have to put force it. So if you ask me the question that, oh, should I start with the first one and then the second one and the third one? No, I know it is not going. There's no point in. It's just like the fever has gone to 105 degrees. So you have to give him a drip and put him on IV and other things, right? So you have to give him the the medicine through his veins rather than giving in the mouth.
Yeah, that's my original question, because I tried it first, didn't work. Second, it's even harder to do.
No. Depending upon my state, I need to take the one. If it is very light, I want to settle down in Brisbane, let's say, as an example, then I can take the first one. That doesn't require too much because it's Asubha anyway. Yes.
The fourth one, I don't think you explained in too much detail today, but I think you're used to you keep asking why. I guess you try to understand the structure of your sankhara.
It is 5 why. Why? Mm-hmm. Which I had spoken some time ago. So you have to ask 5 times why. It's called 5 why. In fact, on internet also you can find it is a project management tool, but this helps very well with this 5 whys. Why?
So you start having a better insight into your anxiety or whatever.
Exactly.
So you can apply accordingly.
Yeah. Know what, know how, why. Just keep ask why. Like I can ask, why am I suffering? No, but what I can do, and then it changes the whole equation. What will make me to see the videos? Instead of that, why? So then I have to think. I have to now cut that thought and start thinking. So that's the fourth one. Good one. Yeah. Thanks for asking. So in all of these 5, if you do, you're in second jhana. Any of the 5. At that very moment, you do it, it takes you to second jhana. You'll skip the vitakka itself, right? Avitakka, avichara, samadhi. So vitakka is gone. So you are in second jhana. Then I can get into Vipassana. Vipassana. Yes, go ahead.
Just a small clarification, because with the first one you said only Sotapanna above can do it, and then when you initially
for all it is the same.
Okay. For the initial one, you said first you replace something negative with a slightly positive aspect of it. But I was thinking this thing even normal people can do, but then they cannot replace that one now. Or is that
because the replacement a normal person cannot?
Some people can think of a positive side of things and they feel better that happens.
No, that has to sustain, right? It has to sustain. For that moment, see, if I go to a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist, like we have Neeru here in the call, I go to her. She gives me a therapy of 1 hour. It works. After I'm driving home again, the same thoughts will take over. Right. So I need to be at least a Sotapanna so that it can sustain, that state will sustain.
But even therapy brings some lasting changes if you're able to give up something.
It does. But how many sessions does she does? You should ask her. That person keeps on coming to the therapy sessions. Let's say I am having a very painful situation with my wife. I want to go for a divorce. So if I go for a counseling, does it happen in one sitting? There are multiple sittings, multiple counseling, and multiple different people counseling. And so many things happen because it's not letting go. The thoughts are not letting go at all. It is still in vitakka, another vitakka of a different kind, but the same subject. So it's not easy. So, and hence I require a therapist.
Because they don't have something higher to aspire to, so they can give up the lower.
Exactly. So if I've attained jhana, then I want this to go. And hence I'm doing this. So a Sotapanna and above only can do it because he understands there is something higher than this, which is jhana. What will I talk to a normal person about jhana? He doesn't even know J of jhana. Forget about anything else. See, I have one friend, Ariu. He's quit the job and he became a farmer. Now his farming job is doing good. So he's come back for employment. He's asking me, do you know someone? So why? Because there's no other better thing to do. Now, his thought, can he do this 5? Or the first one, forget the 5. Forget the 5th one. Can he do the first one? The answer is no. He's a normal person, Putujana. It's not possible. Sotapanna can do it. And he can sustain. He can keep on remembering, yeah, it is of no use. Because he knows there is something better than this.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else? I appreciate others. They either get it completely or they have not got it completely. They're either in 0 or 1. All those numbers, what I see, N, P, T, P, whatever they are, beautiful ones. I think I need to have students like that who just come, relax, and go. So I could use like Buddha say, he didn't trouble me at all. So all our Bahi is sitting there. Very nice. Because I feel my explanation is so good, everyone has understood it, or it is so pathetic that nobody understood it. So it's two extremes. Now I have to even keep on triggering. It's one from my side. So I had to trigger either Bobby or you to ask some question. Like, Bobby is having one, I think Bhante or someone who used to join and he has to ask questions for the public, not for him, for the public. Yes, may go ahead.
I thought I might as well put my hand up. I think sometimes the other thing I've used is, I guess, chanting, like the
Yes,
just
that
from
works.
that helps too, doesn't it? Like
That
to
works.
just stop. Sometimes you're like, oh, yeah, like
That works.
Hamaviru Homi or whatever.
Yeah, it works.
That was,
You
yes,
can
yes.
bring any wholesome thing, including Om Mani Padme Hum, Aham Avero Homi, or this or that, or whatever that helps you to cut that current thought is fine. Including you want to prostrate before a Buddha statue or do some puja or this or that, or whatever religion you're following, can be Christianity or Hinduism or Islam or whatever. You can do all of it because it cuts that thought. That one thing I forgot to mention, yes, that can be, that's more wholesome than any sensual thing to be brought about. You can do that. Like I'm disturbed a lot with this money things, so where to go? I can go to ISKCON, which is very near to my home, and just sit there. Make sense? Oh, you're going to ISKCON. Why? Why not? I can go anywhere. But that is more wholesome deed. Yeah, it has rebirth. That's separate. Now my thoughts are filled up with what happens to my mutual fund. And I'm feeling like I'm going to lose so much of money. So what to do? I'm crying. So somebody says, Vilas, you go to ISKCON. So then I say, yeah, I think I'll do that. Then I remember with Steve Jobs, who ate in ISKCON and in his initial days. And I remember Steve Jobs. So when Steve Jobs can go to ISKCON, why not I? So I go to ISKCON and I sing. Yes, and you.
Because May mentioned chanting, the other day I had a thought that in this journey of the West, in this Chinese thing, there's a monkey king, which is the mind, symbolize the mind. And when the monk wants him to stop, they like chant something, and so it cuts on his head, and then he stops moving. So I was thinking they're using chanting to cut the thought.
Yes. The chanting is required. You can chant. Yes, May, you are right. I forgot all about it. That's the best way to come out of thoughts. Any temple, any church, any mosque, any gurudwara, anywhere you have belief, go there.
I think the other thing I've thought about is like, how would an Anagami react in this situation? And
He doesn't have kamachanda and vyapada at all. May, I don't know how does he react now. I can react. Actually, I can say, oh, what bullshit people, how they can do this, how they can take our lands away, etc. But now I remember Vitakkasanthana Sutta. And I see that, that's the way life is. That's the way life is. So it's better you close your journey as a human and don't come back to this existence again.
That's what I mean. Is you can use the thought of how, like, if you were having, say, greed or something, then you can think, how would if your thought was bad, you think, okay, how would an Anagami act in this situation?
No, in my way of working, May, personally, how I worked is like this. I've always remembered my existence is in abhasara. Nothing less than that.
Sorry. Is abhasara like, I was just wondering the other day, is that part of this the 32 realms, or is that above? Because you know how they said that when the world is
yes, destroyed, they all go to abhasara. They all go to abhasara.
But it's part of the 32 realms, is it?
31. It is not even.
Sorry, my bad.
May, it is not even in arupa. It is part of rupa.
But it doesn't get destroyed. Sorry, I'm just curious.
It doesn't get destroyed. Yes, that's Brahma Loka gets destroyed, but not abhasara. So all beings move to abhasara. It's there in Brahmajala Sutta. It's also there in Aganya Sutta. You can refer it. And the reason why I am obsessed, I use this word obsessed with abhasara, is because of my death experience. So I wanted to know two things in my life. Number one, what happens at death? That's the first intriguing question I had. And two, can I wish to be born while living in this current human world to go to that place where I had gone when I had a death experience. And that's what brought me to all of this spiritual awakening or whatever it is. Otherwise, there was no need for me to come into this at all. Okay.
Is the Bahasara, sorry, is
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
Bahasara that large white light that, people who have near-death experiences talk about? They say, I can see this big white light. Is that a
Yes.
Bahasara realm?
Yes.
That is what we're talking about. Okay.
See, when you're in the last moment of your death, you see a tunnel coming out. From that tunnel, you get to the best part of your unbound existence, a stream of bright light. It's blinding light. And that is you. That's the reason it's called Abhasara. There's no person calling you there. It's you as light. And maybe you should die once to see it.
No, thanks. And it's very interesting, listening to a few NDE videos. They say, they can see that, but it's obviously their craving for whatever's left back on earth that suddenly brings them back instead of being able to go there.
Yes, so for that reason only, this method of Buddha, what he's saying, really works, because you can go back from where we all have started. That's the reason at the moment of death, you will see that streaming radiance, and that is happening in the brain as well. So at the near death experience, your direct mode network is cut. So you will get a different experience altogether, which is like a ride of some kind, like you had a psychedelic ride. So that's what it would happen at death. So in 95, when I had this experience, I was mad at it because I could remember everything what happened with me. So from that time onwards, I'm on this journey. I'm least bothered whether Buddha teaches me or some other person teaches me. I had only these two questions in my mind. How do I know at time of death? And two is that what happens? How can I go to that place where I'd gone? So can I wish? So when I saw Buddha's Sutta MN 120, I felt really happy. Wow, you can get what you want. That means
Did Vilaji see that? I just couldn't remember Vilaji talking about that big white light. I mean,
what?
In your near-death experience, did you see the tunnel and the white light, and then did you think about something on Earth which brought you back? Curious, sorry.
No, nothing like that. I don't even know. I know what I saw. I know that peace. I wanted that, and that's all. I was behind it. That's it. Nothing else. I didn't wish to be back on Earth or whatever, or on back to my body or whatever. No. As far as I remember correctly, I had no idea. But what I experienced, I know. So that brought me to this, finding it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming back here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have you as our teacher. So thank you very much.
No. When I came back, so let me be very clear. I was literally sensual. So don't have to think that just because I went there, I was not sensual. I was 100% sensual until 2013. So that happened in 1995. So 95 to 2013 is actually almost 20 years. It's 18 years, right? So then I can see that the real changes in me started from 2013 onwards, or 12 beginning to from 13, basically, when I left the job, and that was a key changer of my life. So I can say that roughly 13 years now, where I've changed from what I used to be, even after the near death experience and all of that, what I said, it didn't do much changes. In fact, I was so obsessed with America after that. So if I look back and see May, it looks stupid. Amount of craving I had for America, I don't think so I had even for anything else.
But it's good that it still left an impression in you, which obviously changed you.
Yeah, that's true. But that persisted. And that's the reason I started following Dalai Lama, because when I looked at Tibetan Book of the Dead, I understood that this is possible, because they talk about Bardo and all of that. I wanted to learn. So then I started following Dalai Lama. Then I went into the Tibetan Buddhism more and more to understand what happens, because I wanted these two answers. And unfortunately, I couldn't get a proper answer. So I had to leave that entire tradition. So that persisted. Even with all sensuality, that persisted. In fact, I still remember, whenever some person called astrologer used to come, I used to give my horoscope, asking him, you don't have to tell me anything about anything. Just tell me whether I can go abroad for work, and is America written there? Yes, there you go ahead.
I guess a part of the moral of the story is that how the samsara, I guess, in your two previous lives, which you can remember, one time you're actually a monk, the other time you're so established as a teacher on spirituality, yet still it brings you to an earlier life of sensuality and all that. So
yes, it brings
go to a certain stage.
Yeah, it brings in. Even with that experience, Ari, even with that near-death experience, seeing such a nice thing, sensuality took over completely. In fact, there was one Kannada movie by name America. I got so obsessed with that movie, not because of the actors or anything, because of America. And I wanted always to be having an American passport than an Indian passport. Okay.
If it had happened, the retreat will be US retreat.
No, the fun part is, it's crazy. I'd had so much. And in fact, when I met Anjana, the first question I ever asked is that, do you have a passport? And I told her that very soon I'll be leaving to United States. So I just want to know whether you're interested or not. She said, yeah, wherever you go. I said, good. Because I'd got a job in New Jersey. So I was supposed to leave. I was very happy. For Y2K, I got a job in America. But the visa couldn't go through for whatever reason. So I was so disappointed in life. My goodness. So if I had got the job in 99, I would have been in America. It was, I think, May of 99 when I got the job. Anyway, so that's sensuality. At that time, I didn't have any one of these Vitakka, how to remove it, all that. So when I look back at you, I feel you can do it at any time. If I see my own life, the past, then see what a deviation, or rather detour, from a complete high road of sensuality to completely giving it up. And when I read the Sutta of the Buddha in MN 85 and other suttas, I feel so happy that he had so much of sensuality, he could just give it up. Okay, I think we are good to go then. Good to leave. All right.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Vilashi.
Thank you.